Hi, I'm Brad Smith from BeerSmith.com, and I'm going to show you how to make a simple apple cider recipe in BeerSmith 3. First, I'll open a new recipe by clicking on the Add Recipe button up here. I'll give it a title, Brad's Cider. And very importantly, I'm going to pick the type here, which is cider. You need to do that in order to enable a number of cider features. I go down here and pick my equipment, and there are preloaded batch sizes for, standard, double, and so on. I'm going to go with a standard 5-gallon batch of cider. You can, of course, create your own equipment profiles or download new ones from the web. So now I'm basically ready to add ingredients. I can go ahead and add some cider juice. I'm going to go with, let's see, there's a whole bunch of cider varieties here. I'm going to go with Cortland apples, not necessarily the best for cider, but locally available. I want to add 5 gallons of cider juice to get myself started, or apple juice, I should say. And if I wanted to, I could double click on that and go back and adjust, for example, the Brie value or the original gravity, which is great. So I say OK there. And now I can add more ingredients, of course. I've got the cider basic apple juice in there, but I probably want to add some pectic enzyme right here, a little bit of that. I might want some clarity aids, maybe, let's see, maybe add some super clear, which I like to use. It's kind of a clarity aid that you use at the end. Of course, we need some yeast. I've been playing with a lot of different yeasts with my cider. One of the interesting ones I've been playing with is cream ale yeast, which is actually a blend of lager and ale yeast. So I'm going to put in a package of that. And I've got a basic cider recipe now here. I can clean up a few more things. I'm going to go down here and look at the cider style guide just by typing in cider here. I think I'm going to go with this is a New World cider, so we'll pick that as the style. And you see my gravity's a little bit low, so I could go back and add some sugar, for example, to bring the gravity up and do those kinds of things. But I think you get the basic idea with adding ingredients. Down here, I can choose a beverage color if I want. I can make a pretty glass or whatever I want. Maybe cider's about this color. And down at the bottom, I have carbonation options. And I usually typically keg my cider, so I'll probably just click keg there. And then I have a number of different fermentation options. I'll probably just go with a standard ale type thing for much like I'd use with beer because it doesn't take very long to create a cider. So those are some of the basic options on the front page. If I go to the session page, it's got some nice features here as well. I can track all the session data and statistics for the thing. I can actually enter fermentation readings and track my cider as it ages. If I go to the notes page, I can add notes and it'll actually show me the batch age. So I can say, on day 60 it did this, on day 80 it did this, and so on. So I've got options there. I have options here to play with the yeast starter. And if I'm working with liquid yeast, it'll give me yeast starter options. If I'm working with dry yeast, it'll give me yeast hydration options. So a lot of options there to play with my recipe. And of course, up here, I can click on brew steps and it'll give me steps, step by step how to create this particular cider and when to add the various ingredients. So, a pretty powerful tool for cider making. There's other options as well, and I'm not going to cover here. Things like, you can actually add a boil to your cider. You can add boil ingredients to it. There can be a boil phase. And there's a calendar for tracking your fermentation. There's a lot of other features here in BeerSmith 3. So that's a quick overview of how to build a cider recipe in BeerSmith 3. For more videos, as well as recipes, our discussion forum, articles, the podcast, and a 21-day free trial version of BeerSmith 3, please visit my website at BeerSmith.com.